for a while now, we've been talking about the LOMA Awards coming up later this month. And yes, it's going to be a special one because we're spotlighting this event, and that is, redefining excellence and innovation in Nigeria's out-of-home advertising industry. That is the LOMA Awards 2025. Joining us via Zoom are two incredible voices in the space, Mr. Remy Duperez, the managing director of Polygon South Africa, and also Mr. Kingsley Omukaime. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. They are the convener of the Loma Awards, and together they'll be giving us an inside look at this year's conference and the gala happening on the 25th and 26th as well at Marcelina's Place in GRA in Ikeja, Lagos, from creativity, innovation, and it promises to be a gathering of brilliance. So, gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you both on the show this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Yes, I didn't tell you what my name is. My name is Adeboye Oluwafemi Boye. Yes, you can call me Boye, and I am the radio sweetheart. And I'm not alone in the building, in the studio this morning. I've got my colleague as well right here.
Yeah, a very good warm greetings to you, esteemed listeners, and those that will be joining us to talk more about the Loma Award. I am Jack Goodness Wilson, and we are pleased to have you live with us right now at this time of the day. Please do welcome.
All right, let's move straight into some of the questions we have for you this morning. Nothing really big. We just want to, have, a clearer idea, and also for our listeners to have a good idea of what exactly Loma Awards is all about and why. What brought up the Loma Awards? So now let me this question to Mr. Remy Duperez. As someone leading Polygon operations in South Africa, what do you see as the most exciting innovation in, out-of-home advertising right now? And how do you even think it can transform business growth in the markets like Nigeria?
Thanks for the question. Well, I mean, over the last few years, we've seen the concept of programmatic digital out of home probably being the biggest innovation in our industry, even on a global space. Just for those that aren't familiar with our industry, which is the concept of even programmatic trading, it is the ability for an external buyer, an advertising agent, marketer, to be sitting and using an interface to actually buy billboards through a non-manual process. So typically we engage with individuals, and out of home is typically traded very much like real estate. The concept around programmatic trading just means that an individual can use an external platform to actually buy that buy screen space. So this has probably been one of the biggest innovations where it's just bringing new buyers to the market. Typically, you would have out-of-home teams buying and planning. And now with the concept of programmatic trading, you're seeing people that would usually be using, let's say, Google-based interfaces, Google-based money moving into the out-of-home space. So this is probably one of the biggest buying opportunities that we've seen over a while. And I think even the concept of cross-border buying, we have clients sitting in China using interfaces with technology sitting in New York, but they can dispense content across an entire continent without actually speaking to individuals. So the whole speed of all of this has been changing. And also, I guess the key function is that today we can actually prove to marketers what people do when they come into contact with an out-of-home ad. For a business leader and a marketing manager, the key thing is to prove that somebody has purchased a product or service from me. And within our out-of-home realm now, we are able to do that with a fair measure of accuracy, where we are tracking individuals via their cell phones, paired in with billboards, so we can see people going onto websites, buying products, or walking into shops to perhaps browse for something. So this is probably the biggest innovation that our industry has seen. It's similar to where the internet advertising world was 15 years ago. Out-of-home is starting moving into this space now as well.
All right, lovely. But I mean, my manners, I'm so sorry. I should give you the opportunity to introduce yourself so that, Mr. Kingsley can also pronounce his name. And of course, let our listeners know exactly who you are and what you do. Let me start with Mr. Kingsley. So yes, introduction, please.
Okay, my name is Kingsley Omukaime, the founder and convener of Location Marketing Conference and Awards and Out of Home Academy Limited, Nigeria. People say the driver, but popularly known as King of Arts. Okay, that's just for now. That's just the introduction I would like to give.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley. All right, Mr. Remy, let's know who you are and what exactly do Polygon
Sure.
do.
Yeah, sure. So Remy Dupree's, Remy Dupree.
Hey,
I've been in the out of home industry for the last 16 years, and I've
lovely.
started working in the South African market. We founded Polygon a couple of years ago with the intent. The way we like to think of it is the Uber of billboards. We don't actually own any
Ah,
billboards ourselves, but we are
mm,
connected to thousands of billboards across multiple countries in Africa, and
oh,
we are helping bring new money, Google-based money, into the out of home market for local players. And that's kind of our the way we operate at the moment.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's move on with some of the questions we have.
I quickly want to ask, what are we to look forward to at this LOMA award? Can you hear me?
Okay, I guess that question is directed to me.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, it
Kingsley.
is.
All right, thank you. So I would say in summary, what you're expected to see is an invaluable insight as regards to out of advertising ecosystem. And for the networking opportunities, the knowledge and insights people are going to be getting is going to be huge because
Right.
we've tried to extend our collaborations with other industries beyond the out of home industry alone.
Mm.
Here we started with the entertainment industry, and
Oh,
that
okay.
conference of last year bettered what is now the first ever museum with LED screens in Nigerian market
Mm,
by Foham, CJ Tronics by Foham at Remo Stars Stadium. So, but that conversation last year is what bettered that idea and its life. This year, again, we're going to have a couple of other conversations that will also bet new
okay.
ideas, new things. And one of those is what we call the content, the art of home advertising and the content creation ecosystem. So are we going to be driving a new realm of influence in content creation? So
Yeah.
bridging the gap between the art of home advertising space and the digital space and the content creation. That beyond that, which is
Yeah.
one of the most interesting parts, is the SMEs. We've been able to partner with Smeden this year. Smeden is great. I've been able to pull a lot of small medium scale enterprises, and a lot of them have signed up for this conference and they're coming
Okay.
on board to attend the conference to learn how they can smartly use out of home advertising in driving and growing their businesses. So a lot's going to happen. Then that's just on the learner's part. Networking is huge,
All right,
and we
Mr.
have people like
Okay.
just quick to add. For the guest speakers we have people like for the content creation conversation. We have Ajaba the comedian coming on live. We have
Okay.
MC Lively joining this conversation, and
Mm,
also beyond that, the head of Smeden Lagos branch is speaking on the SMEs conversation. This is
okay.
time in addition to other brand managers and marketing managers on board.
All right, Mr. Kingsley, before we go on the break to listen to what Loma has for us, let me quickly ask you this question. I wanted to ask about, what exactly what inspired this, this, because I know that the theme for this year is Smarter OH for Business Growth. I would like to know what inspired the theme and how it reflects the current realities of, the Nigeria's advertising space and industry. In a minute, please.
Okay. It's beyond Nigerian market space.
Okay.
Currently, we are experiencing what they call attention scarcity or short attention span in the media space. And what it means is that for you to be able to communicate and influence opinion of audience, you need to find a creative and innovative ways to speak to them. And when it comes to out of home as the most flexible channel of communication that anybody can have in terms of advertising,
Yeah.
we have to find smart and creative ways to use that. And because the people have just less than 3 to 4 seconds to be able to communicate to them, you have to be smart in terms of use of your media channels and media assets in out of home advertising. So this has informed that the short attention span, attention
Okay.
scarcity is what is influencing this theme of the year.
To you, Sir Remy Du Paris, as someone leading Polygon's operations in South Africa, what do you see as the most exciting innovation in out-of-home advertising right now? And how do you think it can transform business growth in markets like Nigeria?
I mean, I think we did cover that question a little bit more. But I'll be quite happy to maybe speak about, maybe to see, what kind of brands are speaking around what technology you used to have in the out-of-home space. I mean, what we've seen in as far as the South African landscape is concerned, brands are actually using a lot of the programmatic technology we spoke about a little bit earlier. And clients are very, very sophisticated. I think South Africa's had a good couple of years, to test and, kind of dip their toe into that space. But the rest of Africa, the adoption has been a little bit slower for a couple of reasons. My nuance in the local markets is that media owners need to just start getting a bit more standardized in terms of the technology that they're using so that the industry can grow together. And then kind of a big thing is that a lot of education is required around how to use technology that is globally available, but nuanced to the local markets. And I think kind of the bottom line is you actually need a lot of brave clients to kind of step into that space, put themselves on the line, give it a go, and have permission to make a few mistakes and actually learn. And that's what we've seen from a South African standpoint, and what I'd actually like to encourage even the Nigerian market and the rest of Africa using some of the tools and technology we spoke about a little bit earlier.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. So a quick one to use, Kingsley. Now, the conference is themed Smarter OOH for Business Growth. Now, do you think brands in Africa are fully maximizing the potential of technology-driven, or are we just scratching the surface?
Okay, I will still say Remy has already put that in perspective already. Remy, thanks for putting out the brand conversation, because you know how we face these guys. Nobody wants to take a risk. Nobody wants to try new things. Nobody wants to be the first to put your box, because, like you said, Remy, it's about trying. And if you fail, you try, because these are things that are meeting us as businesses, as industries, and we need to find a way to figure a way out to use them. But interestingly, Remy, your team is already doing that. Your team is already doing a lot with ad tech solutions in terms of Polygon. That being said, back to the Nigerian markets, we have we're just scratching the surface, because, like I said in my previous the previous question you asked, the industry is a flexible. The out-of-home industry is a flexible platform or industry in terms of use of creativity, in terms of job creativity and innovations. I don't think any China has that flexible vibes in terms of how to use them for communication. So there is a lot we can do. There's so much we can do with technology, empowering most of them. There's a lot we can do. But we have globally, I don't think we've even scratched a lot of the surface of what is possible in terms of out-of-home advertising. So extending back to Nigerian markets as it is, we are still scratching the surface. We've not even gone half of the way to see what is possible in terms of use of out-of-home and technology.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Kingsley, I'll come back to you. Let me come to Remy now. Polygon operates across diverse African markets. Now, in your view, in terms of collaboration, what role do you think cross-country collaboration play in, strengthening the continent's OOH industry? Remy?
Well, I think, look, each out-of-home is generally very well regulated in terms of local bylaws, so the first instance of getting structures put in the ground requires municipalities, and sharing, I guess, learnings of how to regulate out-of-home in a manner that sort of adds value to the urban landscape and doesn't take away from it. So that's kind of the first point. And it is very diverse. You can look at like Sao Paulo in Brazil. They just made a blanket ban on billboards. The citizens just had enough of it, and that had an impact on their environments. However, where out-of-home plays well in the out-of-home space and actually add value not only to consumers but add commercial value. So I think those learnings and those economic modeling could probably be shared. But from a digital out-of-home standpoint, my calling to the general industry at large is to kind of make use of the standardized technologies that already speak to each other. It just creates a seamless environment for advertisers to target multiple countries without creating friction. If you think about even using traditional digital tools, we could sit here in South Africa and I could buy digital advertising anywhere in the world from my house in South Africa. But trying to do that from an out-of-home standpoint, there is still a couple of friction points, and the main friction from a digital standpoint is really just the technologies that everybody has adopted within different markets. So there's a couple of big players. And my recommendation is that if people just started adopting the bulk of the best tools out there, it will just reduce that friction and make it a lot easier for buyers.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, Mr. Kingsley, let me stay on to you for this one now. I mean, with what you said earlier, I believe that this event is not just about awards, but it's about networking. And for young creatives out there and media professionals, or even tech startups, what opportunities can they expect being part of this LOMA Award?
Okay, Remy, we saw a lot of opportunities from last year. Remy, do you want to take this question from me? Because you are part of it last year.
Well, I mean, I think the main purpose is it just keeps driving awareness onto our industry. We're professionalizing, it's about professionalizing the industry, drawing awareness to what a beautiful industry out of home is. It is one of the industries that when you get stuck in, people just they never leave. It is fulfilling, the work that we get to do every day. And I think the work that Kingsley's doing in terms of LOMA it's just highlighting, I guess, the passion we mutually share for the out of home industry, regardless of where it is. I guess that's all I can kind of leave with you on a positive note. I love the work that Kingsley's doing.
Yeah, just adding to that, so that is why I asked Remy to talk is because he was there. It was been there for the first 2 editions, and this is the 3rd edition. So he has an experience of what it has been like for businesses and for startups, for SMEs. So to add to that, this is an opportunity for other industries to have a peek into what we do and see the numerous opportunities that exist and abound in our industry. Example, I would take 2 examples. First, you talk about startups.
Yeah.
As startups, there are so much things that needs to be done in our industry in terms of data, solving the data issue problem, in terms of measurement and other things, that the startups have opportunity to come and help us also with the technology and the new stuff they have to be able to see how we crack this fully on a global stage. Yeah. That is part of the things that we're seeing. Then, in terms of for students' angle, we have a young students coming out today. They don't know that something like this exists. There's a huge market of a multi-billion-dollar industry. Industry like this exists. We give them so much opportunity from architectural background. You have opportunities to begin to create a landscape designs for out-of-home opportunities, right? From fun and applied arts designs or students, you have opportunities to begin to create, take out-of-home advertising to some fabrications, molds, and the rest are like using your fun and applied art skills. Then from the mass com student who are in terms of copywriting and the content creation and rest are like the marketing guys from creating a brand story. So engineering from even the construction and fabrication of billboards, these industries think that out-of-home it's just one set of mass com students alone, mass com graduates alone, or industry alone. No, it has a lot of other industry that can benefit from what we do in out-of-home space. Right. It's same as other industry like this. SMEs understanding what we do, startups see the opportunities and where they can feel in terms of using their technological experience and their knowledge.
Right. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley. Now, this question is for both of you. I really want to have your perspective on this one. It's for you, Mr. Remy, and for Mr. Kingsley. Now, if we project 5 years into the future, and how would you envision this out-of-home landscape in Africa? And do you see it becoming a data-driven and tech-fueled as digital marketing is? Or will it always keep being traditional strengths? Do you understand?
I'll maybe answer that. I think it's a bit of a mix. So, the concept of digitization is not going to stop. Many people are going to be converting screens into digital assets, and ad technology is going to be a key driver in that for a couple of reasons. It helps us make better decisions on where to display ads at what times and who may be exposed to it. But good old traditional billboards are not going to go away. I can't imagine a world in the future where printed massive building wraps are going to go away. They still are impactful. People stop and stare at it. So the best marketers are actually using a blend of traditional static billboards, using digital out of home for extended reach and other messaging. So I'm just imagining a more consolidated industry where you maybe have less players, less ad tech, more standardization across the board, or at least I guess that's maybe my hope for where we will go. But we're not going to have digital screens everywhere replacing everything. We're still going to have good old static printed billboards because they still work. It's been around for thousands of years. I can't see it going away in the future.
Yeah, very true. Mr. Kingsley, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Remy just said it all. So there's nothing too much to add there because you have said it. You can't. It is a mix. Like I said, out of home is a very flexible in the channel, right? So it's not just one. It's not going to be one format that's going to drive out of home. Example is you have your lamppost is a part of out of home. Bus shelters. Your inside radio, for instance, is part of out of home.
Definitely,
right? It's a part of form, yeah. So there is a flexibility is there. So you can't really say that everything is going to change to digital. But what I know is that technology is going to help us to improve on every legs of this particular industry. So technology will help us, but it's not going to one is not going to override the other because it's just going to be an improvement upon each what we're doing right now.
Right, definitely. Now, on a lighter note, I know that this gala night has a sparkling and, chill dress code with a prize gift attached to it. Should we be expecting to see you vying for that award as well or so?
Never say never.
Okay, never say never. Fingers crossed. All right. Finally, for someone listening right now who hasn't decided whether to attend this event, what's your elevator speech? I think that's the right word to use. And why should they not miss LOMA Awards?
If you're a business person or individual who wants to grow their personal brand, or you want to even understand how to do, I think you have opportunity to link up with people who are professionals, opportunity you've never been able to meet in your life before in terms of you've been going around looking for how to connect to the people who drive this multi-billion industry. This is an opportunity to connect with them. That is first thing. Then secondly, you are going to be getting this information at which I don't think if you put up your search on Google, you're going to get that breakdown of what you're going to get on the conference day. So if you really want to understand what is happening in advertising beyond just your TV and radio and the rest of like on the traditional,
right.
Don't miss out of a location marketing conference and awards. Yeah,
definitely. Mr. Remy, do you have something to add to that?
Well, I'm just a bit bummed that I'm not going to be making it this year. I've got other commitments in South Africa. But
sorry, man.
I've attended.
Sorry, man.
but I've attended LOMA in the past, and I must say I've been these industry events. I echo exactly what Kingsley says. It's a good industry. There's a good camaraderie in our industry, So, and it is an industry that welcomes new people. It's not some exclusive club. We eventually become the elders in this industry, and we need to pass the baton down and inspire the next generation of people to continue the legacy of out of home, learn about it, and get passionate about it as well. And also for business owners and agencies, and let them see the true value that out of home can bring when these are actually added into media schedules.
Right. Thank you so much. Yes, this has been an enlightening conversation. It has been definitely an enlightening conversation and a wonderful one at that. Yes, we've been having Mr. Remy Dupere of Polygon South Africa and Mr. Kingsley Onwukaime, the convener of the LOMA Awards. Now, the countdown is on September 25th for the conference and September 26th for the Gala Awards night, both at Marcelina Place, GRA Ikeja. If you are in the advertising, media, or creative space, just like Mr. Kingsley and Mr. Remy has said, or simply passionate about innovation, now this is that event you do not want to miss. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the show this morning and for sharing your insight on the show. And to our listeners, stay tuned for more right here on Panache Radio. Thank you so much, Mr. Remy and Mr. Kingsley. Thank you so much.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great day.
So much.
Yeah.
All right. Do have a great day. Yes, my name is Deboye Oluwafemi. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.